Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Horsepower Obsessed. My name is Justin, and today we're going to talk about the C8 Corvette and the performance models that are coming a little bit later down the line, but a little bit sooner than you may think. Alright guys, so everybody's excited about the new C8 mid-engine Corvette, including myself, and the performance that it puts down is pretty good for a base model car. Sub 3 second 0 to 60 time is amazing for a base model, but somehow there is still the people out there who want more. And one of those people is me. So I've been looking into some of the Z06 information out there, and sure enough I came across some new rumors that are again likely to be true. They were released by a lot of the same people who released a lot of the information about the base model Stingray that ended up coming completely true, so odds are good their Z06 information is pretty legit as well. Now, before we get too much into the ZR1, Z06 information, I want to show a couple videos here of the actual C8 Corvette in its base model, showing what looks like pretty nice performance and a brand new color, the Rapid Blue, out in the wild. I wanted you guys to see this first before we get too much into the video.
Up here driving and look what I run into, the new Vette, y'all. My first time seeing it. Got the new Vette out here, rear engine, mid-engine. I'm in traffic jams, so I get to get a good video of it. Check it out, y'all. I shouldn't be having this camera in my hand while I'm driving. I want y'all to see this new Vette. Close up on it. Check it out. We out here testing it now. That bad boy looks nice. Check it out. That new Vette look good. Pretty decent. Alright, y'all, I'm about to put the camera down so I get a better view. This bad boy is nice. Zoom out a little bit. That new Vette, mid-engine. Out here in Michigan, they out here test driving this joint. That back do got like a little Camaro look to it.
This is number 111.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. XPEL.
Alright, man, we'll see you guys. We hear a rev. Let's get a rev.
So like I said, the clip of the actual red C8 Corvette taking off, it definitely looks quick. It looks amazing. The taillights are slightly sequential, which is kind of cool, but I mean, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things. So it's nice to see the actual car in the wild, and the way it moves, you can tell it is a quick car. Now that Rapid Blue car I showed also looks pretty cool. I'm really glad GM decided to step outside of their comfort zone with the colors on this car and offer something a little bit different. The Rapid Blue looks very similar to the blue that Ford has used on some of their Mustangs, and it's an interesting color for sure. It's awesome to finally get to see this car roaming around the streets without any camo on it, and it just lets you know this thing is very close to being in your garage. Alright, so let's get into the Z06 ZR1 stuff. Right off the bat, we all know the way Chevy does things. With the Corvette, the Z06 is coming next. And when it comes, it's usually about a year to at most 2 years after the base model has been released. Now in this case, the person who's leaking some information has stated, we are getting the Z06 in 1 year. So after the Stingray is finally available, 1 year from that date, we will be getting the Z06. Now, there isn't a date for the Z06 actually locked in stone, but it is a safe bet we're going to get it a year after the Stingray. Now, what does that mean exactly? Well, there's a lot of different rumors out there saying what we're going to get, but if we look into Corvette's history, we're going to have a better idea of what that Z06 is going to be. We're looking at better performance, a wide body stance, probably wider tires, and more horsepower, along with possibly better aero, maybe even active aero, and overall a more track-focused car. Now, this is just looking into Corvette's history that I'm able to pull up that kind of information, but the actual leaks suggest pretty much all the same. I've seen leaks suggesting a 700 to 730 horsepower engine, obviously the wide body of the Z06, additional cooling vents, and of course, the aero bits. Now, like I said, the leaks typically line up with the stuff that GM has done in the past with the Corvette. So it's not a stretch of the imagination to see any of this stuff actually happening. Now, the real big information was actually leaked a while ago, and that is GM using the black wing engine from the Cadillac side for the Z06. Now, for any of you who don't know, that is actually a 4.2 liter V8 with a twin turbo setup. And that is the engine that is supposed to be used in the Z06, producing around 700 to 730 horsepower. While 700 or 730 horsepower is nothing to scoff at, it's not necessarily the highest horsepower number we've seen in a Corvette yet. But at the same time, if the car comes out with that particular engine and has an 8-speed dual clutch transmission, that thing is going to be unbelievably fast. When the C8 Corvette came out on the stage on reveal night, I was not 100% sold. I haven't been really overly pleased with a lot of the renderings we've seen, and when that car came out on the stage, it basically was a real life form of all of the renderings we had already seen. So it really didn't appeal to me in the way I thought it would. Now, with that said, in the days since the reveal, I have seen pictures, I've been looking at the car, I've been building my own car customized, and I have to say, it has grown on me in a way that I think the thing is absolutely amazing. Now, to make that even better, the Z06 is likely to take the C8 Corvette and elevate it even further into the supercar territory by adding extra aero pieces, wide body, bigger tires, nicer wheel selection, more horsepower. The Z06 is literally going to take this car and fix everything that people don't like about the base model one. And that's already a pretty short list. Right on to the ZR1, or in this case, it could possibly be called the Zora. And that car is still rumored to have 1,000 horsepower. It's still rumored to have the front hybrid assisted motor that would essentially give the car an all-wheel drive system. So that thing is definitely going to be out of this world as well. Typically, GM takes the Z06 and builds on it even further with the ZR1, or in this case, like I said, Zora, by taking all of the good things from the Z06 and just making them even better. So from the base model to the Z06 is the biggest jump in appearance. Then from the Z06 to the ZR1 is typically a smaller jump and usually more focused on performance. So in this case, I would imagine the ZR1 or the Zora model will have active aero, more aerodynamic pieces on the actual car than the Z06, possibly bigger tires, and obviously more horsepower with an all-wheel drive setup. So to break it down as basic as I possibly can, you have 3 different categories. From the base up to the ZR1, you have good, better, and best. Now, these always come with at least a year in between, sometimes more. But rumor says we're going to get the Z06 in a year. If I had to guess, we're going to get the ZR1 after the Z06 2 years later. Rumor was originally that the ZR1 was going to use the exact same engine from the Z06, so odds are very good the ZR1 will also have the 4.2 liter black wing engine, twin turbocharged, and the only thing that will really change its horsepower rating is that front hybrid motor setup, which is supposed to add an additional 200 horsepower. There were some initial rumors not long ago that the Z06 model could possibly have a manual transmission offering. With the way GM was pushing the dual clutch transmission on the base model, I seem to doubt that we're gonna get a manual option in the Z06, but at the same time, I could see it happening for one reason. And that is because up until the C7 Z06, the Z06 was never even available in an automatic. It was always manual. So the 7th generation Corvette Z06 was the first one to ever even offer an automatic option. So it's very possible if GM wants to really stick true to their roots that the Z06 C8 model could possibly come in a manual transmission. I have my fingers crossed, but at the same time, I'm not going to hold my breath because it really seems like they're moving away from the manual transmissions. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't, so don't take this wrong. The dual clutch transmissions are definitely beasts and huge performers in their own right. I'm not going to take that away from them. But for the few people out there that really want the manual transmissions, GM would definitely be doing themselves a favor by offering it on at least the Z06. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked what you saw, give me a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about this car or anything else, shoot them in the comments down below or send me an email, horse.power.obsessed@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next one.